I've had people ask me before if I was ever bullied in school, and I always say no. Then usually they'll say something along the lines of, man, you're lucky, dude, I got bullied hard. Kids would call me names, they would call me ugly, they'd call me gay, they would try to start fights with me. And at that point, I'll kind of chuckle or stop them. And I'll say something like, yeah, same here. Everything you just said and listed happened to me too. And then they'll look confused and, they'll respond and say, wait, so you were bullied then? And I'm like, no, I just said I wasn't. Now, I know you may be listening to this and think, did I just click on the video of someone who has schizophrenia? Relax a little bit, because the reason that there's this disconnect is because to me, those kids in school, they weren't bullying, they were just making noise, right? None of it actually got to me. It didn't affect me. And because of that, it simply just died out. Now, before I progress in this video, let me be clear about one thing. If someone walks up to you and pulls a gun out on you, or, a group of 6 dudes jumps out of the fucking shadows like Batman and beats the hell out of you in some alleyway and sends you to the hospital, that's a completely different story. All right? That is its own form of bullying. There's really nothing you can do about it. I'm not talking about those kind of people before somebody jumps down my damn throat in the comment section. Those are physical situations where someone's life is actually factually ruined. But in this video, what I'm strictly talking about is verbal interactions, all right? I'm talking about the teasing, the name calling, cutting in front of line on someone, cutting someone off in class, poking fun at someone, whatever. Here's what I'm here to say, is it truly takes 2 to tango. People hate to hear this because they think that I'm victim blaming, right? But I'm not. People don't realize how much they actively feed into their own verbal bullying and how much they did feed into it, back in their school days. So I like to think of bullying like a train. You didn't build the train, right? You didn't ask for the train to show up on the train tracks. It's not your fault that this train exists. But when you react to bullying, you are putting fuel in the train. And the reason I use a train is because, a lot of times I like to think of bullies as these big, tall, fat motherfuckers. So whenever a kid back in the day would try to pick on me or something, or get me visibly flustered, or, make me cry, whatever it is, if I were to go burst into tears, if I were to go sprint out of the classroom, run to the principal's office, or if I were to go file a formal complaint with the teacher, I would be giving them exactly what they paid for, my attention. Right? Bullies aren't looking for a sensible discussion. They're not trying to say, oh, bro, you look gay as hell in that shirt, and then have you respond to be like, well, actually, if you look closer at this shirt is about motorcycles. Now, motorcycles are actually preferred by heterosexual men, so I don't understand what you're saying. They're not looking for that, bro. That's gonna get you strangled and punched in the face. They're looking for an emotional reaction, right? Emotion is their currency, and that's why I said they're going to get what they paid for. When you hand them that emotional reaction on some silver platter, you just gave them a reason to come back tomorrow and get more of it, bro. They're hungry fat motherfuckers, remember? So, like I said, when kids would try that with me in school, I just didn't give them what they wanted. If someone tried to call me skinny or scrawny, I would shrug and go, yeah, whatever, dude. Or if they were the typical fat bully, I would literally say to them, at least I'm not fucking fat like you. And if some kid tried to shove me in the hallway and start a fight, they'd be up in my face. Come on, let's go, dog. I wouldn't get scared or angry. I would look at them like they were a damn idiot. And I would tell them. I literally had to tell this kid, yo, you are dumb as hell, bro. You really trying to get suspended over this? You trying to fight me in the middle of the hallway with teachers around? I would just neutralize their bad behavior. I would either brush it off or I would just embarrass the hell out of them for trying to continue. And see, when there's no payoff, the bully gets bored and moves on. It's almost like stocks, bro. The return on investment just isn't there. Now, I do have to say one caveat. When I was in school, I was kind of a class clown, so I did have some friends. I wasn't solo dolo running through the school talking shit to bullies. I did have friends, so if anything did try to pop off, I could rely on some people to help back me up. I don't want any diary of a wimpy kid running around trying to talk shit to somebody and end up getting shot in the chest with a pump shotgun. But what I'm trying to say is we all could do a little bit better. We don't have to let a bully do something to us and then we just burst down in tears crying. Because ultimately, what I'm trying to explain is that there is a huge difference between being targeted by a bully and being victimized by a bully. You cannot always control when someone's trying to target you with their words. That truly is out of your hands. But you do have complete control over whether or not you fuel that engine again. I'm saying that verbal bullying requires a payload. And if you stop handing the bully the payload, the game ends, bro. The nuke is detonated. No, wait, not detonated. What am I trying to say? The nuke is disarmed. Yeah. The nuke is disarmed, bro. You cut the yellow wire.